I wanted to talk about what the real point of today's lab was. It actually turns out that what we did in class today was a review of length and units, though we didn't really know it. So of course we started off with this really simple question, how far away is the moon? And we gave an intuitive answer, and I'm sure your answer was something like this when you first started. Oh, about this far away. And of course what we ended up doing was looking up the real answer on Google. And of course we started off by getting the diameter of the Earth, the diameter of the moon, and looking up the actual number. Of course, we're getting 12,754 kilometers and 3,476 and this huge distance of 384,000 kilometers. And the problem is, these are just numbers. What does this really mean? Can we somehow get our heads around this number to really get an intuitive idea of what we're talking about? So here's what we did. We asked ourselves the question, well, how many of these Earth cutouts would we need to, well, how many actual Earth distances is it to the moon? And given our little cutout models, if we could count the same number of Earths, we would actually know what that scaled distance is. So, we actually took all this information, took the distance to the moon from the Earth, we divided it by the diameter of the Earth, and we concluded it's about 30 Earths away. And what we were able to do then is, wow, we were able to actually line up 30 Earths and get a picture of that distance. And we saw it's a pretty impressive distance. I think it worked out to about 20 feet. So, we counted up our 30 scaled Earth distances. We also used this trick to get the distance to the sun, if you remember. And for those of you who weren't able to get the answer, it works out to something like 2 miles using our scaled model. So that's pretty impressive. And we also got the size of the sun, which I think works out to about 60 feet when we do the scaled model. So here's the thing. In general, to measure distance, this is the general conclusion from this lab. We need what's called a length scale. In our lab, that little cutout model Earth was our length scale. It was the length that we used to decide everything. We said, well, we're 30 Earths away, we're 60 Earths away. That's what we used. In physics, the length scale we're going to use is a meter. And you find these meter sticks lying around the lab all over the place. Basically, that's the unit that we use. So in practical terms, what is the process for calculating length? Well, you got to find the length that you're going to measure. You pick an agreed-on unit, you line up the units, and you count them. So to use our meter example, suppose I have a little mechanical buggy, and it rolls all the way down the room, or at least a few feet down the room, a few meters. I'm going to pick my agreed-upon unit, which is that meter stick, and I lay down those sticks, 1 stick, 2 stick, 3 sticks, 4 sticks, and it looks like I've got a distance of about 3.5 sticks.